Are you doing this in 4K?
Hello and welcome back to our channel. We are currently in Vietnam. This video is going to be about Japan, but we went through Japan so quickly. Days were gone in a flash and we just didn't get done what we had hoped. Connectivity in places weren't always great. Trying to compile our videos and everything didn't always work. Even when we got here, internet has been even more of a headache. So took 3 or 4 days just to get all of our cameras together, just to get some of the videos together and try to start parsing through that. So it's been, a little bit of a setback on time trying to get things done. Japan flew by like a whirlwind. Like every day we set out trying to do things and just trying to figure out how to get places by the train, trying to get food for everyone so everyone was on the same page and able to eat something that we actually enjoyed was nearly impossible. Food also was very expensive there, and even going to the grocery store just to try to buy some fruit for breakfast and stuff, it just wasn't really feasible. Like everything was extremely expensive, like looking at like $5 apples or $12 peaches and stuff like that. It was very overwhelming trying to find food, and we spent a lot of time just trying to find stuff that we would eat, and sometimes just ended up stopping by at like a 7-Eleven or something to grab some chicken for the kids and just move on with our day so we could get to some of the tours that we had hoped to do. A lot of the other things that we would really, hoped to do either weren't available for us, or we ended up in long lines that we just didn't have time for. So we, I guess, didn't exactly do Japan as we had planned. We probably didn't do it right, but we did have some good experiences along the way and got to see some really cool stuff. So we wanted to kind of share that with everyone back home and whoever else wants to watch. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely say I don't think we did it wrong. I think we just were underprepared. I think you go into this trip with all these grand expectations because you've watched other videos and you've seen other people go through these experiences and you're like, I want to do all those. But I think they went with tour groups, which have everything scheduled. They have your food, they have everything like clockwork, whereas we just went on our own and we did the trains, we did the buses, we walked absolutely everywhere. We were walking between 25 to 30,000 steps every day just to get to places with the kids, which they did phenomenally.
A lot of the time we had our backpacks on. Yeah. We were only staying short stays. Yeah. Shinjuku in Tokyo was our longest stay at 3 days, I guess. So we stayed at another place in Tokyo, which we'll get to in the video. But it's we were moving around a lot, packed up with big bags, and that part was a struggle. Part of the reason we wanted to do this was for that struggle, but as odd as that sounds, but I just wanted to try to get out and do a little living and try to get through on our own. But after 4 months of thinking I was learning Japanese, I really was underprepared for trying to navigate what we needed to do and ask for and stuff like that. So really wish I'd spent that time on actual language classes with a tutor or something instead of trying to do Duolingo, which seemed to have got us nowhere, which we're finding out here as well as Korea. So just some things we've learned along the way and had to, I guess, temper our expectations and figure that out. So lots of hangry moments and days where things didn't go as smooth as they could have, but like I said, we got to do a lot of great things, and we're gonna share some of those in the video. So we broke out a couple of the bigger excursions or bigger memories into separate videos for Tokyo, one being Team Labs, the other one the sumo tournament, and then Ueno Zoo, which we enjoyed those 3 things immensely and definitely worth checking out if you get the opportunity. So we broke those into separate videos, which we'll post after this one. But I guess we'll just get into kind of going through what we went through after landing and go from there.
So when we first landed in Tokyo, everyone was exhausted. It was a really long flight. It was 10 and a half hours to get here, but it was an awesome flight. But absolutely exhausted, and we looked at the map and saw where our hotel was located, so chose to walk there. So it was a brisk 30-minute walk with all of our packs and bags in the middle of the night beside the road that leads to the airport, so it was pretty busy. And then we got our first taste of a hotel room, which was all the little individual beds. So that was fun.
Four individual beds in a row. That was, yeah.
And then we set off with that big intention of the next day to climb Mount Fuji. And we woke up and it was raining, and took a look at the weather, and it just said a lot of rain. And then we got on the train, we started getting all these warnings on our phone.
It said there was a typhoon happening currently near us, and the trains kept getting shut down. Everything was being slowed. The trains in front of us were being stopped because of the rain on the tracks.
Our train ride, which from the airport to Tokyo, was supposed to be about an hour or something. We were on the train. We stopped at one station for probably a half an hour by itself. Mm-hmm. We were averaging maybe 10 kilometers an hour because the rains were so bad on the tracks. Everything was flooded out. They were evacuating schools, and we decided at that point, we didn't have great connectivity to do a lot of research, but we decided probably not the best time to go try to climb Mount Fuji.
And 50K winds too.
Yeah, we did manage to get some weather reports up there, and it was showing like 50K winds that day, plus the rain. So we decided, unfortunately, not to climb Mount Fuji, and that was our only window to do it. So doing research, it also historically closed on September 10th. So we didn't have a lot of time. We landed on the 7th. It was the 8th that day that we were going to climb. So it gave us really no window to go and do it. So we decided to check out a different part of Tokyo, get off the train sooner than later, and we stopped in Asakusa, booked a quick hotel room, and went to drop off our stuff in the rain. Completely drenched, soaked all through our bags, our coats. We thought were waterproof by the time we got there. Just the rain coming in through the hoods and everything. Like we were drenched. So we took a little time to air everything out, dry everything off, and then went to explore Asakusa.
Soaked because it is a typhoon currently.
That area, which was a little more laid back, a lot slower than Shinjuku. We didn't know. We got to Asakusa, thought it was quite busy. Turns out pretty relaxed and laid back.
It was beautiful.
We instantly missed it as soon as we got to Shinjuku, which is
kind of
maybe
sad.
a little sad to say, but I know lots of people go to Tokyo to enjoy that Shinjuku madness, but it was not for us. We definitely liked the Asakusa feeling a little more.
Yeah. Beautiful temples everywhere nearby too.
Got to tour around there. The kids got their first sushi experience in Japan. At the hotel, guy at the hotel desk told us to go to Sushi Row, which is, I guess, a kind of chain restaurant around Tokyo, and maybe not the highest quality, but the kids really enjoyed what they got. Mm-hmm. We didn't eat a lot of food, and it was quite expensive. I think we were just under $80 for the four of us to eat a little bit of sushi. I think we all left hungry and wanting more, and it was quite expensive, and that was just a taste of what was to come, or what is our Japan trip of hunger. Same day we went to Senso-ji Temple.
Oh, yeah.
Asakusa for a while. Got to check out the outdoor shopping areas. Yeah, really spent some good time just walking around Asakusa, and really enjoyed a lot of that. That evening we walked about half an hour from our hotel to the Tokyo Skytree, which was really cool to see. What do you think? All lit up into the clouds. We decided not to go up because it was so cloudy. You could barely see the top half of the tower. So we decided probably not to spend the money to go all the way up, but just kind of tour it around. Huge mall attached to the bottom with lots of eating options and interesting shops and different things to see there. And we spent a little time just kind of touring around, unwinding while we were there, and then decided to call it for the night, and planned to go to Ueno Park the next morning.
Still raining.
Being that it was quite close to our hotel, it actually wasn't raining when we left, so we were underdressed for the weather. And as soon as we left, even though it said clear skies that day, started to rain while we were out, and we got quite wet again. Yeah.
But got to see a lot of neat parts of Ueno Park, and that place had a lot to offer, but we didn't give ourselves enough time because we had to be out of our hotel at a certain time, so we didn't give ourselves enough time at Ueno Park. So
we were hoping to check out the National Museum while we were there,
the zoo,
and then maybe the zoo, but we quickly ran out of time just enjoying the park itself. So it's the park might take 2 or 3 hours if you really were to spend some time enjoying it. The zoo probably takes 3 to 4 hours. Don't know what the National Museum would have taken. There's a bunch of other museums around there, so you could easily spend a couple full days at Ueno if you decide to and are interested in those sorts of things. So would have liked to spend more time there. Really kind of upset that we didn't get to see the National Museum. That was something we really wanted to do, but just ran out of time. So everything we had kind of planned, we didn't anticipate the delays with lineups and trains and food. Just trying to find food just really slowed down a lot of our days. So we went and checked out of the hotel after Ueno Park, and headed over to Shinjuku and had our second sushi experience over there, which the kids again really enjoyed. That place was higher quality, also came with a higher price tag, and we ended up even getting less food there, I think. But spent more money. I think that was a $90 bill, and at the end, the kids were given little sushi candies, which were pretty cool. But the one I was actually wrapped with real seaweed, which was a bit of a shock for Chase.
Yeah,
I would have
eaten it. It tastes like candy. Okay, wait, is that real seaweed?
Yes.
How's it taste?
It doesn't taste like candy.
After that, we headed to our hotel in Shinjuku. Interesting little place, quite cramped quarters, not really anywhere to hang anything, but at least we each had our own beds. We had a bed on one side that we shared, and then our kids were on the other side with bunk beds, which they thought was really awesome.
It was the best.
And we were at a below grade suite, which was nice. It was quite quiet. So we still had large windows, but the unit itself was really quiet, even though it was next to the elevator. We never were interrupted by anyone, so it was really nice.
Fully loaded up.
Really cool kind of boutique hotel.
Yeah.
One room per floor, and it was nice and quiet. But
we walked everywhere. We would walk between 30,000 steps every day. Just to get to places, which is a great way to see the city. I find that when you're in a car, you just kind of zoom by and you miss a lot. But when you're walking, we got a lot more interaction. We got to see things I don't think you would ever really see, because we would also duck down back alleys just to get to where we wanted to go. And
Okay. This should be everywhere. This, sure, why not? This, I understand. I Except for the glitter thing. This definitely. These things all should be everywhere.
And everywhere felt safe and clean, and that's something we really absorbed while walking around, is just how clean of a society Japan is.
How
the
many
fact
people.
the fact that they have actual plants growing all over the place, people aren't destroying those. They're actually letting them flourish. There's not garbage everywhere.
Graffiti is-
People take the time to sit down in a restaurant, enjoy their food and drinks, and throw the garbage out before they go out for their walks and off on their day. Just a lot of really positive things that we wish we saw in more places. Japan definitely has that side figured out, and it really makes a difference in your feeling of everything. It was really nice. Another thing we didn't encounter was graffiti, vandalism. They've got these very old buildings. The only vandalism you saw anywhere was sometimes people that obviously weren't from around there, scratching things in English and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the tourists that are damaging any of the really old stuff, which is sad to see. But the people there seem to be really respectful of the history and they let it stay as it should. So that part was really awesome. Also, very little homeless people. We saw very few. Some again around the Shinjuku area, but very, very few. Not like we're used to at home in especially downtown Calgary and stuff. One of the reasons we moved out of Calgary was the ever-growing homelessness rate and the amount of open drug use outside, stuff like that. We didn't see any of that in Tokyo.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Never had that once. And we were walking. We'd go out at nighttime and walk with the kids in downtown Shinjuku, and I never felt like something bad was going to happen. Walking down, again, those back alleys, the side alleys, I never felt any bit unsafe with my two kids or by myself. I felt absolutely at ease.
So yeah, speaking of Shinjuku, that's where we headed next, is the big, bright, colorful, and very loud and very busy center of Shinjuku. So headed out with plans to go out for dinner that night.
So empty stomachs. And huge regret, huge mistake is, a big thing is plan where you want to eat, kind of have an idea of where you want to go. But then when we got there, we had no idea that smoking was allowed inside restaurants in Shinjuku. I don't do well with smoke. Sean doesn't do well with smoke. I don't want my kids inhaling cigarette smoke. That really kind of threw a big damper in the night, because every restaurant we'd go to, and people would come out and say, oh, there's another restaurant, and they would shuffle us to different restaurants, and they'd all have smokers.
If you find something that's full or that looks really good, they'd be like, oh yeah, you can't come in here or sit on the wait list here. We've got another restaurant over here. So we go down there and we're like, no, we go in there, it's all smoky. We're like, no, we don't come in here. And then they'll shuffle you to another one and it's all smoky. And or they put you in a basement and it was like, okay, this is just too overwhelming. We got to leave this area. It was very overwhelming on an empty stomach. So we had to try to go back another night. So we went back the next night after enjoying the day at Team Lab Planet and Ueno Zoo, which we separated out into a different video. But we went back the second night because we realized the first night we missed a lot of the cool stuff that we wanted to see, like the big cat billboard and some of the bright lights and the Godzilla head and all that stuff that our little one really wanted to see. So
it's glowing, it's beautiful, and I love it. Half the trucks here play music and are glowing. Another thing I like, there's a bunch of pictures I can see of anime people.
We went back with better intentions the next night, and the kids had noticed the KFC, so we just went where they wanted to eat. We at least had some food and got to kind of wander around the areas feeling a little better, but it was still crazy busy. We even went and just watched the crossing below the cat billboard of Shinjuku Station out front at night, and how many people were coming, going all directions. Right out front there was absolutely amazing. We've never seen anything like it, and
And it was
just how everyone moves past each other
Yeah.
with ease, and no one's in anyone's way, but everyone just blends together.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Pretty
impressive
cool.
to watch. Kind of fun to stop and watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're in the area, checking out something like that, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, and then the next day we got to do something that Sean had planned for us. So we woke up and we went to Shibuya, which is another very heavily populated area where everybody kind of sees those Shibuya crossing videos. Again,
They are completely real. They are insane. We crossed it.
We went from Shinjuku Station to Shibuya Station on a train where we were literally packed in like sardines. So the train pulls up and people kind of fall out the door.
Yeah.
And then you got to try to get
And
on there.
you shove
and
it.
You're pushing and just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And rode the train to Shibuya. Got off with, tons and tons of people. Made our way to where we kind of needed to be. Tried to figure out where we were actually headed. Had a lot of time, so we thought we'd wander around, maybe visit some shops or something, just to realize and let it finally sink in that nothing really opens in Japan early.
Till like
So
10 or 11.
Yeah, most things
Yeah.
that we wanted to see weren't open till 10 or 11. Most of the malls, shops, coffee shops, food.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different pace there. So just be prepared for that, especially if you're used to
you're an early
breakfast
riser.
or coffee. A lot of like the more boutique coffee shops are the places you might want to visit. Don't open till later in the day. So
Yeah.
you're kind of stuck with the big chains like Starbucks and Tully's
Tully's.
and stuff like that. So we ended up sitting in Starbucks over top of Shibuya Crossing for a little while, just letting time pass before we were able to go to our big surprise for the kids, which was the Adidas Footall Turf, which the kids had seen in Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Yeah. But we found out once we got there that it was a little bit of movie magic, and it wasn't actually on the rooftop of a building overlooking Shibuya. It's actually on the side of the Google building, about a block away from Shibuya Crossing, and is just on the fourth floor. Another reason it was hard to find. So
Really?
we didn't have any good directions or anything.
Yeah.
Even using Google Maps, very difficult to find. We actually had to ask information at the Google building because it's down a back hallway to a secret elevator that only goes up to that floor. So it was really interesting to find once we finally got there. But yeah, so if you're ever looking for it, that's where it is. We rented it out for just the four of us to enjoy. It was still a lot of fun, even though it's not where we were expecting or the views we were expecting. It was still really cool and a really good time to just relax and have some good family time up there. So what did you think of it, Kai?
It was my favorite place that we've gone to so far. I really like soccer. I'm a big soccer fan, so when we went there, I was like, this is my place. And we even got a new soccer ball for the surprise, and we're still carrying that soccer ball. It was just so much fun getting to play on a rooftop.
Yeah, no, it was an enjoyable time. And after that, I knew how close we were to Harajuku. So we went to Harajuku Street. Oh my gosh, it is just packed full of locals and of tourists, and anything that you saw on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, everything will be absolutely packed because everybody else is doing the exact same thing. They're trying to live that Instagram life and try those jiggly pancakes and get their photos. And we just kind of ran through Harajuku. We did get to go to this quiet area though.
Just as we passed Harajuku Street, we turned left and ended up finding Togo-jinja Shrine. And on the way to it, there's beautiful walkways, a nice big koi
Quiet.
pond, which Kai really loves. Yeah, nice and quiet, big transition from a street over where we were at Harajuku. And just, we enjoyed a little quiet time over there and
Beautiful
a
temple.
little bit of peaceful break, and a temple that they were working on up there, and just really enjoyed that part of it on the walk back to the train, where we had to get back for our evening event, which we had booked before as well, which was the day 2 of the Sumo Grand Tournament, which was absolutely amazing. We broke that out into a separate video so you can see that as well. I think it was one of my favorite things that we've done so far on our trip. Kids seem to enjoy it quite a bit as well. Unfortunately, like we said, our time in Tokyo was too pressed and we didn't get to do a lot of the things we wanted. We tried to cram everything in, pick a few things or have a lot of time, one of those two. Like Mickey was saying, if you really want those pancakes, maybe give yourselves a couple hours to enjoy on Harajuku, because you might be standing in one of those lines for 45 minutes just to get what you want. So just really plan accordingly and give yourself more time than we did, because we were rushed and missed out on a lot of experiences that we would have liked.
I think the boys were troopers throughout absolutely everything. This video doesn't show everything that we did. This is only just small little recaps. We experienced so much. We did so much, saw so much, and they were smiling in tow and just happy to be there and happy to experience what they got to see. But I would say just recognize that your kids might not want to eat everything that is offered to them. So understand that it is okay if you do have to go to a KFC, if you do have to feed them from 7-Eleven just to get happy bellies, because it does happen where not all the time they want to eat what you want to eat as a parent. So just understand that it is okay that their culture experience might be different than what your expectation was. Slow down, actually go find the quiet areas as well, because you get to see so much different side of things when you are in a quiet temple versus the one where every tourist is in. The really cool thing also about Japan was a lot of their museums are either discounted for the youth or they are free for the youth. That to me was phenomenal, because
a culture that wants their kids to learn,
culture
and
that
flourish.
wants them to learn.
Yeah, very different. Where our culture seems to be capitalizing that we have to pay for our kids to do everything. There's anything where there was a learning opportunity, it was free, or cost 100 yen or like something crazy. It was
very inexpensive for an education.
It was amazing. Yeah. That side of it, and would definitely recommend visiting the museums and spending that time, because it's one of the cheapest things you can do there, and really, really memorable moments in the places we did go and see.
Yeah.
Although we didn't make it to all the museums we wanted, the few that we did, it was amazing. So yeah, stay tuned and more to go. This is just Tokyo, and we went to a lot of other cities, a lot of other stops, so more videos to come.
Yeah. See you in the next video.
Bye. Goodbye.